Live from beautiful Ohio, it's the OK Boomer podcast, featuring siblings, the real Jean and Laura.
Hello. I'm Jean.
Yes, you are, and I'm Laura, and we are here to encourage all you boomers and millennials and everyone to be happily okay together. Hi, so how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Laura. So excited to talk to you. I have to say I am surrounded by papers and note cards and little lists. We have so much to talk about today and share, don't we?
We do. We always do. I mean, it's kind of amazing how much we can talk, but that's why we're doing this. We love to talk, world.
You've got your coffee nearby, your water?
I do. Now, let me tell you, I am now drinking, I think the last time I had a maple flavor. Now I am drinking peppermint stick from Friendly's. Friendly's, the ice cream people. It's like their peppermint ice cream, but it's in a coffee K-cup. It's superb.
I'm thinking about that. And so what's the big flavor you get? What do you like about it? What's the big flavor?
Candy canes. It's like I'm drinking candy canes. A little early for the Christmas season, but it tastes so good.
But yes, but that's what we're sort of diving into this week, is this whole change of season idea. And you're right. The holidays, they're coming though, aren't they?
They are so coming. I mean, yeah. But along with the holidays, I always have to mention this. We're going to get a new baby in the middle of December. Woohoo!
This is going to be a wonderful fall.
I know. I can't wait. I just want to soak it all up.
So we're saying goodbye to summer, and fall here in beautiful Ohio really means a change of seasons for us. But I'm jumping ahead because you asked about my week. But see, like I said, I've got all these notes. You've got notes. You've got peppermint coffee. So my week, my past week, a little on the busy side for me.
Oh my goodness, you added another room to go visit.
Yes. In some ways I have, because I'm now back at my house, and the lake house we're getting ready to shut down. So yes, in some ways I have had new rooms to discover, and I found my piano again here, and I've been playing that.
Can we just time out for a minute? Where was it hiding? I mean, a piano is kind of big.
It is kind of big. I guess what I mean by that is it wasn't on my wavelength. I wasn't thinking about playing the piano for a while.
Okay.
So it was easy. It actually was easy to ignore it, but now it's my friend again. I need to get it tuned though. I have to arrange that. Well, anyhow, my week.
Yes.
I'm just all aflurry with ideas today. My older son and his fiancée moved into their house, so that was a busy, fun time last week let me say, it's been a while since I painted a room.
But you did it.
But I did it, yes. The OH scolded me because I dripped paint off my roller, but I think I did a pretty nice job. We were a good team. He did the edging, and I rolled it on.
Oh, the edging is hard.
He did that.
The taping is the worst.
Right. So we had teamwork for that. But and one thing, I'm so delighted with their house. I just love it. And my son discovered up in the attic of the house, there was the previous owners had written a little message on one of the rafters.
Really?
And they had the house had been in their family for 48 years.
Aww.
So they wrote a nice message about how God has blessed this house from 1972 to 2000, and they hope it continues to bless the new family. So wasn't that was just a nice way to welcome them.
Really sweet. That is a fun surprise. Something to think about when you move. Write a nice message to the new owner. Really nice. Well, I hope God blesses their home now.
I think yes, that's what I'm praying for too. So that was really exciting. And then you're right, we have babies. We had a baby shower. You had a lovely baby shower.
Thank you.
Our first baby turned 6 months old.
Yes, just turned 6 months old, and we we did. I was a little nervous about doing a baby shower in the COVID, of course, but we were building a garage, so we told them, don't put the walls up. We'll have the shower in the garage without walls. And
if I had said this to you a year ago, Laura, like, why don't you have a shower in a half-built garage? Wouldn't it be fun to have a party in a half-built garage? You would have said, what?
You are crazy. But it worked, and God bless us.
It worked perfectly. It was
gorgeous
beautiful.
day.
Yep. It was a gorgeous day and beautiful decorations. And that got me to thinking about babies and family events and houses. I was thinking back to my own life, and I thought, I can't remember any of the hectic times. I mean, I had kids, I had a husband who traveled. I'm sure life was busy and hectic, but I just remember all the good times now.
Isn't that wonderful that, and I do think it's just that our brains, and God helps us with this, we kind of forget some of the bad things or the hecticness of life. Yeah, because I mean, my daughter, who has her 6-month-old right now, she's always talking about, it's so busy, and she's doing this and that, and baby's crying in the car, and we're trying to talk, and I sort of forgot all that part of it. It just seemed like, it wasn't that bad. It was pretty easy.
Right. I remember having fun, and we used to go to, take the kids to the playground, take the kids to museums. I just had a great time. But yes, there had to be hectic times, and so
they had to. But
all
the memories
dear
are
young
wonderful.
mothers that we love, all you dear young mothers, you'll look back on these times with joy, I believe, and thankfulness. Well, I did one more thing, Laura, and this is kind of my public service announcement. Thank you. Yes, for the alert noise. I pretty much got caught up on all the things that had kind of been put off during these last few months.
Good for you.
So to wit.
Is that a word? To wit.
Twit is the word, but I'm saying like to wit, : Here's my list. My OH renewed his driver's license. In our state, you have until the end of the year, if your license expired this year, to renew it. But he renewed his.
Only because of COVID, correct?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. We went to the pharmacy and got our shingles and annual flu shot.
Very good. Applause. Very good.
Right. I had my annual exam.
Ooh,
and I got
mine.
my bonus shot. I actually had 3 shots on the same day. But that's good. We've scheduled our eye doctor appointment.
Wow.
I have a mammogram scheduled for tomorrow.
Stop this. Wow.
I do.
Do you really? I'm impressed. I really am.
And one more thing, I have to say this delicately. I did my mail-in colonoscopy thing. You don't need to ask any more questions. So just a reminder for everybody, you might want to get caught up in some of those things now that, we're almost done with 2020. So I'm done, Laura. Your week.
Wow.
Your week.
I'm almost breathless. You did so much.
I did. I'm really happy.
It's not just maybe switching your clothes from one room to the other. Wow.
Oh, we're going to get into that.
You're so productive.
We did plenty of that too. Yes. The only thing I have to do is renew my passport, but I'm not sure I'll be using it for a while. But I do like to. I mean, it's good. It's a good legal document.
It is. And that's pretty easy now. I think I just went to my local post office to get my new picture.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that. Yes, I think you can. So they just took it and
Yep.
Then you just go online and fill out the.
Yeah, I don't know if I did it online. I think I did it through the post office, the whole thing.
Oh, good. I'll keep that in mind.
Use
Thank you, Laura.
local post office. We're such an educational podcast.
Would you mind if we just stop? Would you mind if we just stop broadcasting now, recording, and I'll just go get that done? I feel so good if I.
Well, you are getting a lot done, but no, you have to stay wherever you are because we got lots to jabber about.
All right, your week, dearest.
And
your
jabber week. We will. Now, let me tell you, I really hope Bibiana is listening. Channeling Bibiana, because guess what? I had another interesting dream.
Yes.
I think she's our dream gal.
Oh, she's the dream whisperer.
She
All right.
is.
Yes.
Okay.
Among many talents. Among many
Yes.
talents. Go.
Yes, and
Yes.
she's beautiful. So, okay, here we go.
Mm.
She's got good hair. That helps in life.
Mm.
All right, my
Mhm.
OH, which we all know is the other half,
This is your dream.
especially in Ohio. The OH is OH. Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
wait.
good there.
I-O. Okay. This is your dream.
So this
And
is
your
my dream, and I've really been. I've had the occasional COVID dream, still not as much, where I'm in a horrible big crowd and everybody is not wearing masks, and I'm surrounded by coughing hackers. Haven't had one of those in a while. Instead, I had an OH shrinkage dream. Yes, I said it.
What?
I had an OH shrinkage dream. Now let me explain before your brains go somewhere else. I dreamed that we were out somewhere and I needed to hug my OH about something. So I went over to him, gave him a big hug, and all of a sudden in my arms, my 6'3.5" husband had shrunk to about 3 feet.
Oh, no!
Within my arms. And I realized I was lifting him up in the air almost like a child. And I thought, oh my gosh, what is happening to my husband? And then I looked down on the ground and there was a big pile of, it almost looked like dirt. Just this big mound of dirt. And I say, honey, you lost most of your body and there it is. It was just like a pile of dirt.
I'm speechless. I can't even breathe, Laura.
It was the weirdest thing. And then he looked at me and said, oh, I hope you still love me. And I was like, I'll love you no matter what. We'll just deal with you now being 3 feet tall. I do not know why. So,
calling Bibiana, calling.
yes. So I was kind of glad to wake up from that and realize he was.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
He was still
Oh.
6'3". So yeah, and then real estate. Actually, dare I say it, I'm kind of taking a breath. It's maybe slowed down just a scotch.
Well, you had some really busy
Yes.
times. So.
Yes. So we got a little quieter. Not quite as much. We're getting into our quieter season. Kind of from October to December people just don't want to move around the holidays. So, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But you know what has picked up? I've gotten calls absolutely every day. I've gotten emails. Just true. Sometimes I got an auto call, but now I'm getting real people calling and begging for what?
Oh my, they want you to come to Hollywood.
Yes, the calls have finally come, Jean. We're famous. It happened. No, subbing. School, high school.
Oh,
subbing.
I think that's right. Yes.
Oh
yes,
my
yes.
goodness. In our school district, we actually did start school several weeks ago. Hopefully everything's going well. But every teacher, I don't know. I just keep getting called for subbing, which I've not accepted. I mean,
But you may. So, but if you wanted to.
but I may. Right.
You could do this.
Right. I thought I'd give it maybe a couple months and see how it all goes. But yeah. So that's been interesting. Anyway.
Speaking of, I was going to ask you one quick little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed on TV commercials that they're starting to put in like sly little references to the virus?
Why, yes, I have. It's so funny you should ask me this. This is where siblings, it's so helpful to be a sibling. We think so much alike. I was just seeing, I want to say 2 nights ago, somebody was meeting with their financial consultant. And they both had masks on across the desk. And I thought, that's the first time I think I've seen a commercial where it's like normal to be in an office, but you're wearing a mask.
Right. And have you seen the one, and I can't remember the product, but it's 3 neighbors. They're out talking and they're each at the end of their driveway shouting to each other.
Oh, the social distance commercial.
Right. And then a really clever one, and again, sorry, I can't remember the product. Was a wife is getting ready to entertain a couple on their patio, and the husband comes out.
Yes.
And he has his underwear. He doesn't have pants on. And he said, I thought it was a Zoom. But it's like they don't say anything about virus, and it's just those little hints.
Yes, and the one where he comes out in his underwear and she just stands there and says, no. That's a goodie. That is a funny one. I know. So speaking of coming out, outdoor party, we were invited to a very lovely cocktail hors d'oeuvre party outside someone's deck. This was just this past Sunday night. But I was in a quandary, Jean. A quandary.
You were inside a quandary.
I was inside an actual quandary. I walked in. I had no idea what to wear. Now, for the OH, this is simple. He dons his nicer jeans, and he put on a lovely polo golf shirt, and he looked great.
Right. That's what my OH would do. Yes.
But I was in a nice, cute little summery skirt and top. Looked great, but I realized it's getting a little cold. So then what to do? Because you don't really want the warm, woolly sweater with this cute summer skirt. So it tricked me up.
What'd you do? But like throw a little cardigan over your shoulders? Or?
Well, I actually went with slacks, pants.
Yes.
Which I hadn't worn in a long time, like a nice pair of khakis, and I had to iron them. And then I couldn't decide between the cotton sweater or the little warmer wool sweater. And I went with the woolier one.
And by the time you were ready, the party was over?
Pretty much. Speaking of, this is a little off topic. We love our OHs. Love my OHs.
Oh, yes. Big or small.
3 feet. It doesn't matter. Love them dearly. But this conversation happened. I don't mean to pick on him, but I'm going to.
Oh, a conversation in the wild. Okay.
Yes. Where we were talking about cotton versus wool in our clothing, and would you wear a wool suit versus a cotton, all that kind of.
Yes.
These
basic
topic, conversations you have all the time with your husband. And, and we were saying, well, cotton at least, it breathes a little more, and it's from I don't know, we got into talking about cotton fields. And then I was talking about wool, and sometimes it can be a little itchier, blah, blah, blah. And this is an exciting conversation between a husband and wife. And then he looked at me and said, but they all come from cotton. And I said, wool is not cotton. And he seriously said, it most certainly is. Wool comes from the cotton plant. Doesn't wool come from a sheep?
Yes, but who knows nowadays? There's probably some kind of vegan wool.
Well, that's probably true, but so again, we're educating you. I believe wool is from a sheep.
But yes, let us know if we're right or wrong about this. Is there vegan wool?
Yeah, because I hate to pick on my husband if, in fact, wool doesn't come from a sheep. So that's all I really have about my week.
Well, and we were almost to the segue of what to wear now that it's fall, which September gives me that urge to go into my closet, start to pack away the shorts, right?
I know it's a little sad.
Decide which old t-shirts you want to keep or not for next year, and start to figure out what to wear. Now we always talk in the winter. What do you have enough sweaters? Do you have enough pants? Kind of do the old wardrobe inventory. Now we always talk about transition.
Yes.
Outfits.
Yes.
But realistically in Ohio, there lots of times there isn't a transition. You go from summer and then suddenly after lunch it's wintertime.
It's so true. Right. 1 minute you're wearing that cute little flouncy skirt and then pants.
Yes, and from pants it immediately leads to a giant puffy parka.
It does.
But on the off chance that we can do a little bit of transitioning, I found I was looking for new fall ideas. What are people wearing? And I came across the term biz leisure.
Biz leisure.
Yes.
Wasn't there a rapper? Biz Markie?
Was there?
I don't know.
Oh, good for you.
I don't know. It just was there? I have no idea. Sorry, folks. Okay,
Right.
continue.
This
Leisure.
leisure is sort of building off of the athleisure idea.
Oh. And do I
And
know, is athleisure kind of like your athletic gear, but it's good enough to wear to the grocery store?
yes, or so you hope.
Yes.
Yes. That's the idea. Yeah, so the biz leisure, I think it probably started off with all the zooming that on the top you're wearing your blazer and nice blouse, and on the bottom you're just wearing
Parachute pants.
well said. Oh, I love it. Yes. But now I'm kind of getting into the idea that's something you could wear out when you're scurrying to the grocery store with your mask on. Um, you could do that. Just mix and match everything.
Biz leisure. Now, let me ask you, Jean, does this mean with more people going back to the office?
Are they going back?
Well, I saw that thing about JP Morgan is going to have all their people back by the 21st, which they may have done here. I don't know. Yes, I think more people are going back to the office.
Okay.
Would I wear this to the office? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I think that is. Continuing this, I mean, same idea. I mean, you'd have to have, you can't be like the underwear guy on TV, right? But, yes, but I think there is that feeling that whatever you want to call them, track pants, running pants with a blazer looks nice.
Track suits. Didn't we used to have track suits?
That's right. So the pants from that
with like a nice sweater? Like,
yes.
Like mixing and matching. All right. So give me an example of what this would look like. I'm waking up. Now I have to go show a house, but
well, and it's Ohio, so you have to listen to the weather report first
right.
to decide if it's going to be 80 or 20 degrees. Okay.
And
so
my uniform in the winter, which starts
yes.
pretty much now, I shift from little skirts to turtleneck sweater dresses.
Oh yeah,
tights and boots. That's my uniform. But that would still be somewhat. I wouldn't really call that biz leisure.
No, but that would be.
It's comfy.
Yes,
unless
right.
I got my boot zipper caught in my tights.
Oh, I remember that. Oh my goodness. Well, we'll have to explore this, but that was just so. Any fashion advice, Laura? I mean, I just throwing biz leisure out there as an idea of kind of mixing, matching your comfort with a little bit of structure, I guess. And you have any fashion thoughts leading into change of seasons and all that?
Well, not a lot. I go into my office about once a week to do floor duty, as it were, and you get to see all the very attractive, nice realtors walking in and out, and a couple of gals are just so well dressed all the time. I try to take my cues from them.
And what would you say makes them well dressed?
Well,
I mean, what
they pull it together nicely. Like I have noticed in these transitioning cooler days, one gal came in with a kind of a fall colored maxi dress. So you're not feeling as exposed with bare legs. And then she paired it quite wonderfully with maybe a cotton, not a wool, a cotton plant-based sweater. And it looked very pulled together. And she had these really cute little booties, just the short booties. No tights or anything like that. And it looked very fresh and new and put together. I thought that was a good look.
But it would be comfortable. Right.
It would be comfortable.
Comfortable, but it would be put together. What colors?
Hers was kind of a goldish, harvesty colors. It was really cute.
Good for her.
Yes, and then somebody else, and I thought this is a good idea to turn your summery skirts a little more fall. She had a chambray shirt.
Oh,
kind of like that denim chambray. It wasn't as heavy as denim, but it gave it more of a faller look, also with the sweater and probably a skirt she had from the summer, but it just made it look so. And she wore it, and I thought, wow, could I pull this off? She wore it with adorable little white kid tennis shoes.
Oh, I like that. See, there is those touches of being a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more laid back, but Well done. Now, okay, Laura,
Yes.
help me here. I do want to get a few new fresh pieces for my closet. What's a good online place to shop? Do you have a place that you usually shop for
Oh,
women of our age or my age or?
that is such a good question. I used to like to go to my Cabby, and you can still get clothes Cabby online because she would host them at her
That
house.
was like a home fashion thing,
That would
right?
be a home fashion thing, and I've gotten quite a few pieces from them, truthfully, and dare I say it, but I haven't gone much since the COVID. I haven't actually gone once. I just like to peruse through TJ Maxx. But
You've always had such good luck with TJ Maxx.
I have. Now you can go to TJ Maxx online.
Oh, I could check that. But so, do you have a go-to brand or something? I need a little guidance here as I enter the big closet of the world. I need a little.
Oh, the big closet of the world.
Yes.
That and I'm probably a poor one to ask because I just kind of mix and match from different brands. I mean,
All right.
Nordstrom.
It's not like you go to Chico's. Like you always go to Chico's.
Yes, and I don't always go to Chico's.
Or J. Jill. You don't always go.
No, I really don't. I just kind of. I'm a TJ Maxx girl. I'm so sorry. That's a good question for our listeners. Do you have a go-to brand? And again, I used to do Cabby twice a year. She would host these parties, but I haven't done that. I'm just living with my same old stuff.
Well, here's to September and tidying up, getting ready for fall. Have fun with that this month, Laura.
I will. I'm also going to, along with clothes, and we can talk about this in another episode. I really need to focus on decluttering. That will be coming up in my life because I mentioned earlier we built this great big garage, and now I need to not just fill it up. I need to go through my things and be careful about what I put in it. So that'll be my motivation in the next couple of weeks.
Well, happy fall to you. And I found a quote that I thought you might really love. I really love this quote.
Okay, I love good quotes.
I love this, and it came from a book I read recently, and you'll love the title. It was about Boomerville.
Oh, that's perfect for us. Boomerville is the title of the book.
Well, it's a series. So one is called like Hotel Boomerville Manor. Great series, and it's about women, probably kind of our age, who start a hotel that's, as we were talking about, like spas before, where you can go and take classes, all kinds of classes.
That would be fun.
And all kinds of amenities, sort of a combination between a spa and like the hostel learning idea where.
Yeah, spa just sounds better.
Okay,
right.
Fun
and an upper level university.
Yeah, right. And it's beautiful surroundings. This took place in England. So here at Boomerville.
Yes.
So one of the characters was Irish. So this may be an Irish saying.
Lovely.
But here comes the quote from Boomerville, Irish. All right, you're going to have to kind of listen to this, I think. All right.
Did you
Ready?
say what? Cuddle into this? Not cuddle. Cut.
No, kind of listen to this.
Oh, and my poor
You're going to have
ears.
to kind of.
Okay, not even close.
Right,
Go ahead.
May the best you wish for be the least you get.
Wow, I got to think about this one more time.
I know, that's what I was trying to say.
The absolute best you wish for
be the least you get.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a really good one. Be the least. So the best that I'm wanting, may that be the least that I get. Wouldn't that be nice?
Isn't that a great way to look at life?
That's beautiful. Yes.
There you go.
I like that.
Get ready to say goodbye to you with that happy thought cheering you on.
Wow, I really do like that. That was a good one because I kind of had to think about it.
Yes, that's what I was trying to mumble out. You have to get ready to think about it. I want you to have a great week, and may your weeks ahead be even better than you think.
I like
And
that.
it's time for you to do your little goodbye
Is
speech.
it really? Gosh, these half hours go by quickly. Goodness. Okay. All right. Oops, where's my card? I can't find it, and here it is, hiding under a book that I'll never read. All right.
Uh-oh.
I know. Are you ready? Here we go, world. You can contact us at contact@okboomerpod.com if you want to email us. Or you can find us on Twitter or Instagram at OK_boomerpod, both of those. Or you can just go to okboomerpod.com, and that's where you'll see our smiling faces and little bios, and all the episodes are there in case you want to get caught up. And indeed, we want to thank Pat Rulo, who helps us with all our podcasts. She's wonderful at Speak Up Talk Radio. And just listen to us on any of your favorite podcast platforms. All of them. Spotify, Apple, Google Play, whatever that is. We're there. We are there for you. All right.
We are. Have a great week, Laura. Love you.
I
Toodle.
love you. Toodaloo. Bye.
Be sure to come back to beautiful Ohio and the OK Boomer podcast. To listen to previous episodes or to drop us a line, visit okboomerpod.com.